Have you ever tried to describe your daily routine in English, but got stuck looking for the right words? Many learners memorize vocabulary, but when it's time to speak or write, everything feels disconnected. That's because real language fluency comes from living with the language, not just studying it. One of the best ways to learn English is through stories. They give you real context, emotional connection, and practical usage all at once. If you want to improve your English naturally, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Lingverse. It was still dark when Ava woke up. The streets outside her small hotel room in Madrid were silent, touched by the earliest light of dawn. Most people were still asleep, but something inside her told her to go out. She dressed quickly, put on her sneakers, and stepped into the cool morning air. The sky was just starting to lighten, a deep blue slowly shifting to orange near the horizon. The narrow stone streets were empty, their usual buzz replaced by quiet echoes of her footsteps. It felt like the whole city belonged to her. As she walked, she passed small cafes with chairs still stacked, windows foggy from the cold night. A delivery truck rumbled in the distance, but otherwise everything was still. The air smelled of bread and coffee drifting from somewhere unseen. Ava didn't know where she was going, and that was the beauty of it. She turned corners without thinking, letting her feet choose the direction. She passed colorful buildings with cracked shutters, balconies filled with flowers still closed in sleep. She stopped at a small plaza with a stone fountain in the middle. Water trickled softly, and the sound made her pause. She sat on the fountain's edge and breathed in deeply. The air was fresh in a way she hadn't felt in a long time, like clean linen and wet stone and orange trees. It reminded her of being a child, when mornings still had magic. A man walked by, nodding politely. An elderly woman swept her doorstep nearby. A black cat crossed her path and disappeared between two buildings. The city was slowly waking up, but she still had a few more minutes of silence. She took out her notebook and scribbled a few thoughts. Not a story, not a diary, just moments. The way the air smells before the sun hits the rooftops, she wrote. The sound of shoes on empty stone. She didn't need perfect grammar. She just needed to feel it. After an hour, she stopped by a bakery that had just opened. The man behind the counter greeted her with a warm smile. "Buenos dias," he said, handing her a warm croissant. She responded with a quiet gracias, then took her pastry and walked out. She found a bench nearby and watched the sunlight finally pour over the rooftops. Everything turned golden. The city was no longer hers alone, but she didn't mind. She had shared a private moment with Madrid, and it had become part of her. That morning, she didn't study a single English rule, but she lived a story in her mind, and she wrote it in English, quietly and honestly. In today's story, we learned useful expressions like woke up, stepped into, let her feet choose, and reminded her of. These are natural phrases often used in daily conversations. We also saw how to describe scenes using the past simple and phrases with prepositions like in the distance, on the fountain's edge, and near the horizon. All of these help bring writing and speech to life. We post new stories every day to help you learn English the natural way. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about what part of today's story stood out to you. See you in the next video.